Hi guys, it's Layla. Today I'm making this video for naturalbelle.blogspot.com and I'm going to be talking a bit about transitioning, giving you guys a few quick tips about transitioning, or should I say going natural. So yeah, enjoy the video. So just a quick note, this video is going to be accompanying a post over at naturalbelle.blogspot.com, so be sure if you're not watching this video from that page to head over, because anything I do miss in this video will be within the article that goes with the post, as well as my recommended products. Yes, I know I don't usually like to recommend products, but I will be given a list of all the products that I used whilst I was transitioning, most of which I still use now. So yeah. Okay guys, so one of the questions I get all the time, so the most frequently asked question I get is, how do I go natural? So okay, there's two ways that you can go natural. You can either okay, so first and foremost, you have to stop relaxing your hair. Okay, so that's an obvious one. You have to stop relaxing your hair, and then you can either do two things, or one of two things. You can do a big chop. Okay, so BC, that's what BC stands for, big chop, which is either shaving all your hair off, or maybe let's just say you had a relaxer yesterday, then you'd wait maybe a month or two, so you'd get like a little bit of new growth, and then you would cut the relaxed hair off. Or you could just shave it, you know, shave like a fade. Or you can do what I did, and you can transition. You can transition for anywhere between a month to, I don't know, some people have done like 4 years, 5 years transitioning, but you can transition for as long as you like. All you have to do is maintain both textures. Okay, so you have to maintain both textures. Or actually what other people do is whilst transitioning, they cut off their hair slowly, so they don't necessarily have to do like a big chop per se. Well, I didn't do that personally. I actually just grew my hair out. I would trim it regularly like I would usually trim my hair, but I didn't necessarily kind of cut to get rid of the relaxed hair. So I retained both textures and maintained both textures for the 2 years that I transitioned. Okay, so yeah, and if you are transitioning, then this is the video for you. So I'm going to move on to the next point. If you guys see me looking down, it's because I have my notes. Okay, so you've decided that you want to transition and you don't want to big chop your hair, so you're going to transition. The first thing I'm going to say to you is document your journey. It's really important to document your journey. It allows you to see the progress of your hair. Sometimes looking at your hair just like on its own, you might not get like a good idea of how you're progressing, but it's really good to document your hair journey, especially if you're experiencing breakage and stuff. Sometimes you may not notice it, but then if you look back in your pictures, you can be like, oh, okay, you know, I need to fix that. What else is there? It really helps. You know, sometimes there will be times, I'm not going to lie to you guys, there's going to be times where you do feel kind of off about the whole transition, and you may feel a little bit down and you know, down in the dumps, and it always helps to have something to look back at and kind of be like, okay, look at all those beautiful new growth coming through my scalp, I'm just gonna keep going. So definitely document your journey. What I did is I used Fotki. So fotki.com, I will have the link to my personal Fotki within the post, so you guys can check it out. I documented my transition journey very well, like very well. Sometimes week to week, other points, you know, I documented it well, basically. So yeah, that always helps. So you can join fotki.com, and with the thing with Fotki is there are other ladies on there that are sharing their hair journey, so you can go there for inspiration, check out other people's personal hair journeys. Some are transitioning, some have been natural for years and they still document their journey. Yeah, and there's a lot of support on there as well, so that's the thing, you know, you can get some support on there. But if you're somebody who's quite private, then you can set your pictures to private. So you don't have to necessarily share them with anyone, but you can have them for your own personal reference points, okay? I was also a member of KISS, so Keep It Simple Sister. I'll also put a link to my KISS page within the post so you can check that out. Because originally I'd started a relaxed hair journey, so just like a general hair journey to maintain my hair more and look after it more before I decided to transition. So KISS is a great community. There's so much support. There's literally so much you can learn on there. There's a wealth of knowledge and information. I would advise anybody, like, I don't care what you're doing with your hair right now, as long as you have an inkling to look after your hair in whatever state you're in right now, I don't know, locked, transitioning, natural, relaxed, definitely check out KISS, because there's a lot of support over there. So yeah, okay, so point number 2 is setting up a regimen. It's very important that you have a regimen. You have to be consistent with your hair. If you're going to transition and you want to maintain your hair and keep it in the best condition possible, I was going to say healthy, but yeah, then you literally want to have a nice steady regimen. Build your regimen towards your lifestyle. So if you're someone that's, you know, super busy, then you definitely probably may not have the time to wash your hair weekly, or like, you know, within the week. But then perhaps you can take a little bit of your Saturday morning or your Saturday evening or your Sunday morning or your Sunday evening, make it work, fit it in, so that, you know, don't say, oh, I'm gonna wash my hair on like a Friday when you know you're gonna be tired after work, and you're more likely to be like, oh, it's okay, I'll do it another day. Make sure, you know, your wash day falls on a day where you actually do have the time, so you don't, you know, procrastinate on it too much. One big thing is deep conditioning. Deep conditioning was my savior. It was my saving grace. Literally, while I was transitioning, it kept my new growth moisturized and soft. It kept, you know, my relaxed hair in a pretty good condition. When you are transitioning, where your new growth and your relaxed hair meets, okay, so the line of demarcation, it's extremely fragile. So you have to be very, very careful. And if you allow your hair to dry out and get too dry, it will break. You will get breakage. And if you're trying to transition long term, you don't really want breakage, okay? What else is there when it comes to your regimen? Okay, so you have to have a balanced regimen. So you may have heard this already. So protein and moisture balance is extremely, extremely essential while you're transitioning. Like I said, the line of demarcation is going to be extremely fragile, so you need to keep your hair strong yet moisturized and pliable at the same time. Now, what I used to do is I hennaed my hair. I would henna my hair monthly. I'll put the link to where I get my henna, or where I used to buy my henna from, because I no longer henna my hair. But I will put that link within the post once again. So yeah, if you're not watching this video from naturalbelle.blogspot.com, then just swing over. I'll put the link in the description box as well. I hennaed my hair monthly. In addition to hennaing my hair monthly, I would switch back and forth between protein and moisture for my deep conditioning. So I wash my hair weekly, which I still do, and one week I would do like a moisturizing deep conditioner, and then the next week I would do a protein deep conditioner. There's loads of information on all this stuff. All you have to do is literally just Google it, and yeah. Okay, so moving on. I've spoken about all those things. Styling, which is, okay, styling was my thing when I was transitioning. What I said to myself is, just because I'm going natural doesn't mean anything has to change. The only thing that I was changing was the fact that I was no longer going to relax my hair, and I wanted everything to stay the same. So however I styled my hair whilst I was relaxed is exactly what I did whilst I was transitioning. Now, I know a lot of relaxed ladies usually either wear their hair down or they wear it in a ponytail. Me, I styled my hair all the time. I always had some kind of updo or something going on with my hair. So what I did is I found ways to make that transcend into my transitioning hair. What you want to do is, if you're transitioning, you don't want your relaxed, you don't want to style your hair where your relaxed hair is where you're trying to make your natural hair fit in with your relaxed hair. Think about it this way: you're going natural, so whatever you do, you should kind of lean in that direction. So you want to style your straight ends to match your natural hair, not the other way around. You don't want to use a lot of heat on your hair, especially if you're transitioning long term. That's extra damage, extra dryness, extra breakage. You don't really want that. So that's what I always say to people: don't look at what I'm doing, how do you style your hair? So if you're somebody who wears their relaxed hair down a lot, then you need to master braid outs. You know, literally just keep doing it until you find what works for you perfectly. You know, how many braids work for you, what products work for you, what combination of products work for you. Literally work on it until you get your desired, you know, style. If you like ponytails, find a way to make that ponytail work. Like, find a way to get your edges to lie down flat. Make it work. That's what I always say to people: make it work, make your hair fit to you. The only thing that's changing is you're stopping the use of relaxers. Nothing else should really have to change that much, so keep that in mind, okay? And lastly, because I don't want this to be a long video, but negativity. You are going to come across a lot of negativity if you decide to transition, because, you know, maybe in the early stages when you're not too sure how you're styling your hair and you don't know what you're doing with your hair, and you have bad days and people are like, what's going on with your hair? Why are you going natural? Like, ew, what's up? You know, like, oh, so your hair's just gonna be nappy. Why would you do that? You know, you get comments and stuff from people where people be like, oh, when are you relaxing your hair again? I think you should get a relaxer. Your hair doesn't look, you know, that great. You need to ignore all those things. So first thing I say to people is, when you say to me, oh, I want to go natural, if you want to go natural, do it. If you don't want to, or you don't feel like you're ready, don't do it. Don't do it until you're ready, because then you won't be able to mentally and emotionally handle the negativity, which will weigh you down, and you'll probably get another relaxer. So that's the first thing. If you're not ready, don't do it. Like, it's not by force. You don't have to go natural right now in your life. You can wait until you're mentally prepared. Or if you really want to go natural, but you feel like you're not emotionally and mentally ready, rule yourself. You have the power to kind of change your mindset. So for me, when I decided to transition, I didn't think I was going to get any negativity at all. I didn't think it was a big deal. You know, apparently it is. So I started getting a lot of negativity from family members. Not so much friends, 1 or 2 friends. But it took me back. It took me back a little bit, okay? So then I had to kind of assess the situation and reassess the situation. And I thought, I'm doing this for me. I'm transitioning for myself. I'm doing this for me. So why is it bothering other people? Really and truly, like, it's none of your business what I do with my hair. It does not affect your life. It doesn't stop your ability to pay your mortgage, to wake up in the morning and go to work. It does not affect your life. So once I started thinking about it that way, I was fine. When people would be like, I'm like, what's your point? You know, and then think of it this way, because I'm on the other side of it now, and the same people that were giving me stick about going natural are like, oh my god, your hair is so nice, oh my god, oh my god. And it's just like, yeah, my hair is nice, thank you. Like, you know what I mean. But basically what I'm trying to say is, guys, just prepare yourself for some negativity. You know, it's part and parcel of life anyway. But especially towards your hair, it doesn't matter. It's your hair. You're doing it for yourself. If you're not going natural for yourself, then straight away, don't do it. Like, unless you're doing this for you, if you're not doing this for your friend, your aunt, your cousin, your nan, then it's fine. Let people have their negative opinions. That's perfectly okay. That's their opinions. So I hope this video helps somebody, and if you are thinking of going natural, I hope that this is giving you that extra push in the right direction. And like I said, I'll have a few more bits and bobs within the article. So if you're not watching this on naturalbelle.blogspot.com, then head over. I'd like to thank everybody who read the interview that I had, my Sunday talk with Belle, and kind of, in a way, requested me to come back and do this video. So yeah, thank you, Belle, for letting me be on your, on your blog. Thank you very much. Bye guys.